With the rut now behind us, the best hunting revolves around two things: food and weather. On cold days, the deer feel a very real need to feed. But even without a cold snap, daylight appearances are still possible as the bucks feed consistently in an effort to restore lost body fat before heading into the winter. This is the situation in which Ohio bow hunter Drew McClain finds himself.
Today is December 2nd, and my buddy Craig and I just got settled up in here to the blind. It is still Ohio's gun season here, and I hunted on Monday night in the same spot and didn't have any luck. It was pretty warm. It's been pretty warm most of the week, but the camera did show the deer that we've been after all season. Club showed him in this plot on Wednesday night, like at 4:45, 5 o'clock. So had I been here, it probably would have been a done deal, but hindsight's always 20/20. So we're set up in the same location, got knocked down corn in front of us, and the temps aren't as cold as we'd like, but you know, it is what it is. So we are hoping to see some action. It'll probably be towards the end of sunset again, just because of the temperatures, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll visit this location again and we'll get a crack at him. Today is actually a year to the date that I killed the buck I shot last year, so hopefully December 2nd brings us some luck again, but we'll see. He stayed out here for a while. The sunset's great. My buck's looking down this hill. There's a doe. There's a doe coming through this high grass right here. Well, that might be that's another stinking button buck. I think it is another button buck. How many bucks are there? That's him. He's in there somewhere. I saw him. Go to the right. What's that little buck at? Where's the big buck? They don't even. Come out. There he is. To the right, to the right. To the right, right there. We got plenty of time. This guy's gonna turn broadside. Man, I see him. You're on him good, aren't you? You're on him pretty good, aren't you? I don't want to shoot yet. He turned broadside, didn't he? Can't stop shaking some deer in the front. I'm not gonna get talked back. I'm good. Yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and take him. You ready? You ready? Thank you. There he is right there. Don't tell me I missed. Don't tell me I missed. He's gonna go down right there. Oh, great. That was perfect. I think we just caught up with Club. He just went down right in the cornfield. December 2nd. 2 years in a row. Last year and this year. You guys know that's been the buck that I've been trying to get on. And Craig and I actually were having that good a night. I saw some antler behind the standing corn and there he came. That was awesome. You did awesome, man. Give all the glory to God for this, and I know my wife's going to be happy that we got him down, but we'll call the family around the troops, but that's Club, and I think we just put the end of that chapter. So. Full moon coming up. Gosh, God is so good. He is awesome. He is awesome. Pick him up here so you can see him, get a better look at him. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that deer.
Holy smokes.
Oh man, he's a stud. We'll come down and get you guys.
Oh my God.
Dad's coming up first. All right. Dad's coming up. This has always been a family thing. With a wife and 2 kids at home, it's tough. But they're just as part of this as I am. So we'll get those guys rounded up and get up here.
You want to see him?
Well, guys, here he is this morning. I wanted to get him in daylight so we all can get a better look at him. But this is Club. This is a 6.5-year-old buck that we've been chasing all season, and kind of gave us the slip back on October 29th when I kind of messed it up pretty bad doing that interview, and he heard me underneath the tree, and then 2 more encounters with him during the rut and bow season, and just couldn't quite get him in bow range. And I planted this corn about an acre's worth here on top of our ridge back in May, specifically, for this time of the year when the bucks are coming out of rut. They're wanting to put those pounds back on from running for almost a month straight. December 2nd's been pretty good to me. I'm gonna keep this in the back of my noggin for the next couple of years. Is December 2nd last year, December 2nd this year, in a redneck over a cornfield. So a pretty surreal moment catching up with a buck of this age and this much history with them, and being after him all season long. So it's I can't, just a blessing. That's all I can think of. And put the smoke pool to work, and we'll probably get a little bit of feedback on it's not fair shooting deer with a gun, but I sure enjoy it. It's to each his own, and tried my darndest with a bow, but just didn't work out this season. So just feel blessed to be able to harvest them and close this chapter on this awesome deer. So thanks for following along, guys, in the journey. It was fun, and are looking forward to putting another story together. So thanks for watching. Take care out there. God bless, and good luck to you.
Cabela's offers a wide range of footwear that accommodate all types of hunting, from early season spot and stalk to late season stand hunting. What you wear on your feet has almost as much to do with your success as what you carry in your hands. With an industry-leading lifetime warranty, our choice in footwear is simple: Cabela's. Once you release the string, your roll is complete. Now it is up to the arrow and the broadhead to get the job done. This is no place to take chances on unproven quality. I have been to the Easton plant, and I have seen the pains that they take to assure that every single arrow is perfect. Why trust your whole season to anything less? I take my quiver off when I'm whitetail hunting. By removing the quiver, I make the bow lighter and easier to handle in the stand, but I also reduce the side profile, so if the wind is blowing, it doesn't have as much surface area to push against. Fuse quivers are all quickly detachable, and they have convenient loops on which to hang them in the tree stand. Frigid Forge Plowdown Clover is one of the most revolutionary products they sell. You ideally frost seed this blend of fast-growing clovers during the winter, and then mow it down and till it under when preparing to plant Big and Beastie the next summer. The clover provides much-needed forage for the deer during the summer, and much-needed nitrogen for the Big and Beastie once you plow it down. While hunting western Illinois 6 days later, Jeff Deets is on the same quest that propelled Drew McClain. Hoping to bounce back from a long, hard bow season, Jeff heads to a redneck blind overlooking a corn plot, drawing on the longer reach of his trusted muzzleloader.
It's the first day of the Illinois muzzleloader season. That's the third gun season weekend in Illinois. We actually got some really good temperatures to work with this weekend. It was super cold in the mornings, and you can tell deer really started to kind of transition into hitting food sources. And I'm sitting inside a redneck blind. I had to self-film tonight, so I'm pretty excited for this hunt, and I have some high hopes despite the wind. So I'm gonna sit back and see what happens. It's super early. Hopefully the wind dies down and we get a good hunt in tonight. I think I hit him good. I might have hit him a little bit back, but I shot him. I gotta review the footage and check it out. But that's a deer that really cool buck. We have both his sheds from last year. My wife's been wanting to get him for a long time, and he just popped out at 60 yards. So I hope I smoked him. I hope so. I don't see anything. Oh, there's a white belly right there. He's right here. I can see him just on the other side of this tree right here. Ooh-wee. Got that broke off G2 early on in October. He broke his main beam off right there where his where his other little kicker point was starting to go. Pretty sweet brow tines, and I just love this huge bladed G2 on this side. Well, back out here again following morning, sitting here behind the buck I call Majestical. Kane and I decided to come back out and get some good pictures this morning with some good lighting. So he's been a deer that was probably right up to the top of my hit list all season. Found his sheds last season after we were burning some prairie grass and stuff, and really haven't seen too many encounters with him this year. He's been all over the farm, but just haven't showed up in daylight. And last couple days, cold temperatures coming in, and with having a lot of food on my farm, he finally started showing up in daylight. And last night I came into the redneck blind, and about 4:30 he popped out. So with more food on my farm, this is kind of the time of the year where things can really get exciting. And with this bruiser out of here, it's hard telling who else may show up or may start showing himself more. So excited and hopefully have some more action the rest of the season.
Coolers aren't just for the beach or exclusively for family vacation. They are for any time you need to keep something cold. When hanging stands during the dog days of summer, we depend on our American-made Grizzly coolers to keep refreshments cold so we can stick with it until the job is done. Hoyt has been a standard of the bow hunting community for more than a generation. Each year, the company designs bows that are more accurate and more dependable than the year before. Redworks is their most recent offering to carry on this legendary standard. Keeping things simple and minimizing gear is always a worthwhile goal. Nikon's LaserForce range-finding binoculars bring together the two pieces of optical hardware that most bow hunters carry to the stand. Working hard to contain cost, Nikon is able to offer the LaserForce at roughly the same price you would pay if you bought a rangefinder and a high-quality binocular separately. We've had very good success with the Ozonics units in tree stands, but they are almost foolproof in ground blinds. By placing the unit over the open window, we basically create a curtain of ozone that destroys nearly all odor that would otherwise leave the blind. One day later, in 75 miles west of where Jeff Deets shot his top buck, Mike Reed takes his wife Kathryn out for an evening in the blind. The demands of bow hunting make that sport a tough entry point for up-and-coming hunters. As a result, the firearms season has become our number one time to introduce new hunters to the sport.
Well, it's Saturday, December 9th, and based on this good weather we are having, nice and chilly weather with clear high pressure, we decided to get the wife a tag. So my wife Kathryn is out here. We got her a second shotgun tag. Today is opening day of the second shotgun season here in Iowa. And we're out here on a small 1 acre or so clover and turnip plot. And we're nice and cozy in the redneck blind, and we've got a couple hours. We got set up around 2, so we got here a little bit late, but there's a couple bucks out here we're looking for. I've got 2 mature 10-pointers that I've got 3 years of history with. One we call Mr. Clean, and one the Crab Claw 10. So either one of those bucks show up, we're going to take a crack at them, and hopefully we get a surprise buck. So you never know this time of year as they move back to feed. So just excited to be out here. She's 27 weeks pregnant with twins, and so still out here and looking forward to the evening. Oh, here comes one. Might have to come out over there. There's still more coming down the hill, at least 2 more. Either broken his antlers or shed or something. It's like 4 shots. Get your gun up. Go ahead. Just hold it. Just right on his body.
Is this a good?
What?
Is this a good position?
It looks pretty good. How's the, make sure you fill the entire picture. Go ahead and shoot him. Just hold it right on his body. It's not gonna kick, Cuddy. You smoking?
I can't believe that just happened. Oh my gosh.
You smoking?
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. You just smoked me.
Oh wow. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Oh, that is awesome. You want to talk?
I don't know what to say. What
Okay.
do I say? So what is that one called? Do you have it?
Mr. Clean.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's about 4:50 right now. I just shot my first buck, my first deer, about 10-15 minutes ago, and it's Mr. McClain. Mike thinks that's right.
Yeah, this is a buck that I've got 3 years of history with. Jared and I actually filmed him in the timber here during the rut last year as a 4-year-old, and was kind of even contemplating maybe shooting him, but really, my goal is, even on this farm, is to wait till they're 5.5. It's a little bit harder with this neighborhood, but this buck is a 5.5-year-old. Got 3 years of history with him. He's just beautiful He was a 10 last year. This year his G4s are just little knickers. So he's basically a big 8 with nice big brows. But he's the one who came in here after. And of course, right at sunset, he just walked out right up the lane, right where he's supposed to, and gave Kathryn a 50-yard shot, which we learned after last year that we should try to keep it around that range. And
Worked.
I mean, she hard shot him. He just crumpled right there. Looked great. So we've got a little bit of daylight. We're going to get down and go take a look at him before it gets too dark. Whoa. Give me a thumbs up. Well, here he is. This is a buck we call Mr. Clean. He's a nice 10-point, or was a nice 10-point. He broke off the end of his right beam. Beautiful 5.5-year-old buck. Couldn't be more excited. Kathryn's first buck, and it's a great mature Iowa whitetail.
Yeah, my first deer, actually. So Mike and I have been hunting together for probably about 10 years. Once we started having kids about 6 years ago, we've got 3 little girls, and the time to hunt has definitely slowed down. I'm 27 weeks pregnant with twins now, so I thought, man, I need to get this done before we have more babies and less time.
Yeah.
So here we are, we got it done. It's exciting.
Yeah. We're going to get him cleaned up here and get him back home so the girls can take a look at him.
They're going to be pumped.
I knew you guys shot it.
Bella, what do you think about
I
it?
think shot it.
Dad. Mommy!
Mommy shot it.
What in the...
Oh, can you believe it? Look how big he is.
I can't. I want to see his whole body. I want to see his whole body.
Well, his whole body's in.
Isn't he? He's a big one, huh?
Mommy shot a dad.
We'll take a look at it. Can I get a thumbs up? Thumbs up!
There are only 3 ways you can get busted in a tree stand. The deer can smell you, hear you, or see you. To reduce the chances of being seen, we wear the best camouflage we can. Realtree's open patterns perfectly blend into the hardwood timbers that we hunt. Redneck blinds allow me to hunt more comfortably on cold days, and that means I hunt longer. That is one important key to success. You have to be out there if you hope to fill tags. Sleepless nights spent waiting for daylight only to follow a weak blood trail are a thing of the past with the devastating performance of the new Wasp Jackhammer Broadhead. With its 1 3/4 inch cutting diameter, this head is the perfect combination of destruction and penetration. I've had a lot of success hunting near food plots, but before you can hunt them, you have to get them growing. And the key to growing a good plot is getting the seed in the ground at the right depth and the right rate. RTP's Genesis no-till seeder has done a great job for me on our farm.
Well, it's the next day, and decided to get him out in the daylight here so we can get a better look at him and get some nice pictures of Kat's first buck. But this is the farm that I help manage right outside of town, and this is my 3rd year managing this farm. This buck has been on the farm since I started managing it. The main body of this food plot is about a half an acre. And I planted it to pure trophy clover. I overseeded the Big and BC 3 years ago, and I've just been maintaining it by mowing. It's one of the better food plots on the farm. It did really well this year despite the drought conditions, and the cameras were showing quite a bit of deer activity. I mean, this is the one we wanted to come in and hunt. Normally Kat and I hunt late muzzy, but because of the favorable weather conditions and the daylight activity on the cameras, we elected to get her a second season shotgun tag and come in here, and it ended up. So like 5 minutes before sunset, here he comes, and he made it nice and easy for us. We had the front window open, and he came out and just stood there and started feeding. He wasn't moving around a bunch. We were able to take our time, get on him, and Kat was able to use all of her the stuff that she's learned for shooting and make it count. We've obviously come close before in the past, and this one worked out pretty well. So I've got a tag for late muzzleloader, which opens December 18th, and that's the last of the tags for our family. We're going to be spending Christmas and New Year's down at the farm. I've got a bunch of standing corn down there, and a long list of shooters that I'm looking to catch up with that I couldn't catch up with the bow. So far though, it's really hard to beat beat this season. It's been really great, and it's always fun to get out in the woods and spend some quality time with the family.
Late season stories are predictable. The day was cold, the deer were heading to food. While neither the stories nor the strategies have much personality, This type of hunting does have a consistency to it that can feel really good after a long and unpredictable rut. Look to the weather breaks, cold fronts after prolonged warmth, or warm fronts on the heels of a long, deep freeze. Mix in food and things are sure to be interesting. Despite the predictability of the late season, there's always a wistfulness to every encounter. Maybe I shouldn't shoot him. What might he look like next year? We imagine the deer with a gnarlier rack, a bigger body, and a ridiculously large rut-swelled neck. Just a week ago, the calendar page flipped, but ours jumped a full 11 pages. No matter what happens during these last weeks of the season, our first love will always be the rut. Those frosty mornings on the bedding ridge and the crunching sound of footsteps in the dry oak leaves call to us more strongly than December's icy winds. We may tag a monster next week, but in some ways it will feel like a consolation prize. In our hearts, we see but one championship match. We already look ahead to those days when, with bow in hand, we will once again be chasing November.